Extra time.
That was fantastic today. It's been that first over of yours has been talked about already as one of the great England overs and something that people are going to be watching for years and years. How did it feel?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I didn't really do anything out of the ordinary from the plans that we had. I just got lucky really with a couple that hit there was some bare patches, had a bit of reverse as well. So we knew that we just had to keep hitting those areas as much as possible, and hopefully we'd get a couple to keep low or deviate, and we got 3 or 4 throughout the day to do that. So yeah, a bit of luck involved as well, but I was happy with how it went.
It looked out of the ordinary to some of us, I think, what you were doing today. But was knocking off stump out the ground genuinely the game plan coming in?
To be honest, I was more expecting maybe an LB or some, one to keep low, or maybe even a caught mid wicket with one that's stuck in the pitch a little bit. But it's always nice to see the stumps cartwheeling out of the ground. It doesn't happen very often at my age, so yeah, really happy that it did today. And it's just a really, it sort of tops off a really good performance throughout the 5 days. I thought it was a really solid and complete performance from the whole team.
And doubtless, Jimmy, after a day like that in the field, you're sticking your hand up and want to go and do it again next time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I guess when a batsman gets in rhythm and in form, they want to just keep batting and keep that rhythm going. And it's the same for a bowler. You want to keep that going as much as possible. But I'm very aware that we've got 4 test matches in quick succession here, and there will be probably a need to rest and rotate. It's been talked about before we even got to Sri Lanka. So I'm not presuming anything. I'm just I'll try and rest and recover from this game as best I can in the next day or 2, and then get back in the nets and try and put my name in the hat for Saturday, and we'll just see what happens.
Hi, James. I just wondered, when it comes to reverse swing, and obviously you were held back tactically today, are you constantly looking at the ball with Joe to see when the best time to come on is? I mean, how was it judged that you'd come on sort of at the over before drinks, if you like?
Yeah, we're assessing the ball all the time, and Jofra started the day and he felt like it was reversing a little bit, but then we gave it a few more overs with the spinners to try and get a bit more wear and into the ball to rough it up a little bit more, and then it was we knew it would reverse when I came on to bowl, and then it's just a case of trying to get it in the right area as much as possible, because obviously on a pitch like that, it had deteriorated and there were little divots and chunks to aim at, but getting that extra bit of movement through the air just makes it that little bit harder for the batsmen. So it sort of really gives you some encouragement to bowl, and it's very enjoyable when that happens as well.
Because of the conditions, the heat and what have you, and the fact that you can only probably bowl 4 or 5 over spells, is there a bit of pressure to get it on the money from ball 1 as you did? I mean, how important is that? Yeah,
it's crucial. I mean, probably more so in the subcontinent, because maybe in England you can settle into a spell a little bit. You can take a little bit longer to do that. But it's something we focused on from the first test match in Sri Lanka. We said that it's going to be 3 or 4 over spells. You've got to be on the money from ball 1. It's something we've all talked about, and every bowler's clear in that regard. We've got to make sure we're on top of that. And we've done it really well throughout the 3 tests we've played so far this winter.
And just on the final thing, Joe spoke about working as a bowling unit. I mean, how would you assess the overall performance of the group taking 20 wickets in this match?
Yeah, I thought we were really good. I think we assessed the conditions very well. We set the right fields. We didn't try and over-attack in the first innings. We tried to hold them as much as possible, try and dry them up, keep the run rate down to a reasonable sort of level, and yeah, I thought everyone stuck to their game plan. For the seamers out here, for me in particular, maybe Joffre's a bit different, but for me in particular, that first innings I felt I was the sort of bowler to try and keep the run rate down, try and dry things up and let the spinners attack a little bit more, let Joffre attack a little bit more. Whereas in England, it might be the other way around, where the spinners have to do the drying up job. I'm very aware that could be my job out here. And then you can attack a little bit more in the second innings if you do get reversed, or you do get, the cutters were gripping, and there was that little bit of deterioration in the pitch, as I said. So it's just trying to manage that throughout the game and trying to make sure you pick the right moment to attack, and you know when to sit back and defend a little.
Yeah, hi James. Well bowled. I just wondered how much fun are you having out there? Because obviously you've been doing this a heck of a long time now, and it just seems like your plans are coming together. You're having probably more success now than ever before. Is it more fun than ever before?
It really is. I think this group of guys that we've got is really special. We're creating something really special, led amazingly well by Joe Root, both on and off the field. The way he's batted the last 3 games has been incredible to watch. But yeah, we feel like we're building something, and whether it's the fitness side of it, we're trying to push each other. And for me, as I get older, I feel like I need to work harder at that, and I'm trying to keep up with the younger guys, which helps me. And we're trying to develop skills as well. We're trying to develop skills to win anywhere in the world, which you need to do if you want to get to number 1, which is what our eventual goal is. So yeah, it's a really fun time to be around this group, and we're just, as I said, trying to keep challenging each other and trying to make sure we keep performing on the field as well.
And you touched on Joe there. I mean, he's drawn level now with Michael Vaughan with 26 wins as captain. Of all the top 4 captains on the list, you've helped them win. You've helped them all win matches. You're probably best placed to kind of assess where Joe really kind of sits amongst them all, really.
Yeah, well, I think he gets better and better every game. And you can say that with the bat as well, watching him play. But certainly on the field with his captaincy, I think he's improved every game that he's led, and he's worked so hard. I'd say he thinks a lot about the game, and he's got. I think it's good that he's got a lot of experience around him as well. I think Joss is an amazing vice captain, Stokesy as well, who's another vice captain. But the experience we've got on the field helps him. And he can bounce ideas off us, and I think he grows with every game that he's out there. So we're very lucky to have him, and I think he's very, very much up there for me as one of the best.
Hi Jimmy, well bowled. It's 15 years now since you played a major part in winning a Test match in India in Mumbai. I mean, which is incredible in itself. But I mean, how much can you relate to the bowler you were then compared to the guy you are now? How much has changed, and how much fundamentally is the same?
It's hard to kind of compare really, because I think I'm a very different bowler now. I've got a lot more skills. I feel like I can perform on a lot on a variation of surfaces. Back then I relied heavily on swing and reverse swing. Now I've got cutters and other things to help me on different pitches, and I think my consistency is also something that's improved a huge amount since then. But I certainly think that I've benefited from playing, quite a bit of cricket out here, that now I can look back on that experience, and it does help me in the games that I play now. And
it's also it's almost 10 years now since MS Dhoni said you were the major difference between the sides in the series win under Alistair Cook in 2012. I mean, you were absolutely at the peak of your prime, early 30s or late 20s then. I mean, are you an even better bowler now than you were even at your peak?
Yes, certainly I am. Yeah, I think I feel like I'm getting better. I feel like I can still keep improving. The fitness and the skills and the consistency is something that I'm continuously trying to improve. I don't see why I can't keep getting better, and that's what I strive to do. So I think when I don't feel like I need to do that, when I don't feel like I need to come to the ground and practice my skills in the nets, and get better, that's when maybe I need to start looking at something else to do. But right now, I feel that I can still get better, and I'm enjoying the challenge of doing that.
There's still talk of spectators, perhaps tens of thousands of spectators being allowed into the grounds, maybe as soon as the second Test match. I mean, everyone wants to see crowds back in the grounds, but do you have concerns or reservations about crowds coming in from a health and safety point of view?
Well, I'm presuming that the fact that the sort of safety around our bubble at the hotel is so sort of strict that I'm sure that they're not going to do anything out of the ordinary here if they're going to let fans in. I'm sure they'll take all the right precautions and everything like that. I've seen them putting the chairs out in the stands, so it looks like they're gearing up for fans to come in, which would be great. We look forward to that if it's done in the right way and a safe way.
Somebody hits a six and what they do with the ball, that sort of stuff. If it's thrown back by a spectator, I suppose it's sanitised, I guess. Yeah,
well, that's exactly what's been happening this week, because there's people still working in the ground that have been throwing the ball back, and it just gets sanitised by the umpire. The player who catches the ball then sanitises their hands. So it's a very safe environment right now, and I'm sure that will just continue throughout the next 3 Test matches.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on XtraTime.